You're not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
One of those, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely one of my biggest fears of living here in not just Medellin, but Colombia in general. There are so many women involved in the sex industry. And obviously, you don't, not that you're coming to another country to specifically look for women, but obviously you're going to want to try to find a mate and,
Yeah.
have a life. But I would say one of my biggest fears is getting someone who was an ex-pro or SX worker and wifing them up and, not knowing about their past. Cause a lot of girls will try to hide that. And, or if you end up with one of these 50-50 girls that kind of do it or they do it, but if they figure that, I can get this sucker basically save me, then I'll get out. But they essentially have one foot in and one foot out.
For sure. They always will. They always will as well. So if you're thinking you're going to wife up one of the girls, and she had her ex was the sucker, guess what? You're the sucker now. That's you now. You are that guy. And you are definitely, this is the problem. They can't unprogram that wiring. So when they're manipulating these guys for so long and they're so good at it, it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. It just takes new forms. And the new form is going to be targeted at you if you're dating her, if you're marrying her. So yeah, it's a big thing. And the girls aren't going to be upfront very much about it here. They're not gonna tell you, oh yeah, I used to be a webcam model. Then I started doing OnlyFans. Then I would start taking dates. They're not going to tell you all this stuff. So you got to be on guard. You got to know what you're getting yourself into. And the one thing that can destroy you as a man the fastest is who you choose to date, is who you choose to partner up with. No woman in the world can make a millionaire into a billionaire, but every woman in the world can make a billionaire into a millionaire.
Yep. 100% agree with that. Also would say too, is that all women, whether they're in this type of industry are going to test you, they're going to try to manipulate you. It's just doubled with these type of, with these type of women.
So much better at it. They're professionals. You're dealing with professionals now.
Yep. All right. So next question I have here, we only got a few more, so we'll wrap this up. How did working in that environment change your personal view on digital intimacy and the modern relationships?
Oof. It did, because I got to see kind of the worst of all of it. It definitely made it harder for me to be in a relationship with somebody, because I would see something that's small and like nothing big. Like I wouldn't put up with a girl who's like disrespectful or anything like that. But I would see something small and I would see the manipulation portion of it. I'm like, I would shut that door immediately. Like, oh, nope, that's it. We're done. And it made me more rigid in relationships. And I'm not a rigid person. I'm not somebody that's like, you be here when I tell you to, and I need you to have your location on. That's not me. But it made me kind of be that way because I saw what going on, and I saw it at a level that people didn't see. So it kind of devalued sex for me a lot, and that's one of those things that it happened that it really, man, it hurt. It hurt me in a lot of ways. I went to therapy about 3 years into my career because I'm like, this shit's tough. It's tough to deal with all this stuff, and yeah, it changed the way I saw women too. I saw all the manipulations that women do, and it was like a blinking neon sign to me at that point. So it definitely made it tougher to find somebody to bond with. And also the dating portion of it was tough for me as well, because you have no idea how hard it is to have a relationship with a woman that's not in the industry. because they're looking at it as, oh, well, you're going to go. I'd go to a studio visit. I'd go and be there 4 or 5 hours. And while I'm there scrutinizing their operations and trying to help them be better, the girl that I'm dating sees that, oh, well, you're just there, getting your DS'd by these girls. And it's like, no, when do I have time to do that? I have no time for that. So
here's a quick side question. What would you say are some uncommon manipulation tactics that you would see where most guys just aren't going to catch it?
Oh, I have this one for you. And this is for all guys that are dating, especially if you're dating a Colombian girl. I call it the soft bag. And that's where when you say, hey, how's everything going? And they start telling you all their sob stories. Now, the way I saw this before is it's like, oh man, that's tough. That's hard. You'll get through this. You got this. No, that's not what they're doing. What they're doing is they're setting you up to say, oh, you're having some financial troubles. Well, let me give you some money. That's what they want. And when you don't, then they're going to start to open that door slowly. And then eventually they're just going to slam it open and, hey, you're doing okay. You're doing better than I am. Can you give me 200,000 can you loan me 200,000 to get through this and I'll pay you back? And I saw that, and that soft bag it's foundational here. It's a foundational thing, the way the girls do things here.
Yeah, I want to add to that. I'm going to piggyback off that for a little bit. So when I first got here to Medellin, Colombia, obviously it's something that is a huge cultural difference from what we're accustomed to in the United States, being because women are so independent. I mean, obviously now there's a little bit of more of girls asking for money to get their hair, their nails done and stuff like that for dates. But for the longest time, it wasn't really a thing that women would just openly.
Super taboo.
It would be almost embarrassing. Yeah. But here it almost is like, wow, they have no shame. But what my first experience was, oh, I'm stressed. Because obviously every conversation has to start with hola, ¿cómo estás? And,
within 3 questions, you're hearing their stresses in life.
Yeah. So, I'm stressed. And it's like, you almost, and of course, when you're innocent, your first experience with this is you're going to ask why. Yeah. And that's where you mess up because, blah, 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 whatever million excuses. And Colombian women are the queen of excuses. I've heard so many excuses. I never thought I would, I'm like, how do you guys come up with these things? Like, you guys are super innovative when it comes to, you are so innovative. If you would put half of that effort into coming up with this stuff and put it towards like something productive, man, y'all would be way more further in life than what you are. But no, they constantly will come up with things. But yeah, it's almost essentially like, oh, I'm too ashamed to ask just straight out. So I'm going to slowly throw out the little jabs of, oh, I'm stressed and I have this going on in life and I have this going on in life. And as a man, and I think the women here notice that naturally we are problem solvers.
For sure.
This is just how we are. It's how we're wired. We hear a problem. We want to try to solve it. And the unfortunate part is like, it's like you don't want to hear a problem and then not be able to try to solve it. Here, you kind of got to learn to just do it, not solve problems.
Yeah.
But essentially,
that's why I said you better have your game on. You better have your game strapped up tight. You better have no leaks in your boat, man, because they're going to find one and they're going to exploit it. And you hit it. You nailed it right there. The I'm stressed is usually how it starts. It's always how it starts.